It is March 23rd, 2019. It is around 9:30 p.m. Welcome to the weather update. Very windy day across our area today. We had some pretty strong winds. And just going to look at some of these gusts, some of the observations. And it's still windy, northwest at 13, gusting to 23. But we had some really strong winds earlier on, which we will look at here. We had some gusts. Some gusts up 40 miles an hour, gusts to 37, gusts to 38, gusts to 38 this morning, and a number of clouds around on Long Island. You can see here looking at the satellite image. We didn't really lose the clouds until the afternoon. They probably moved out a little sooner in New Jersey, and by 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, we did have nice clear skies over Long Island. So let's take a look and see what we have coming up next in our weather for this week. So this high is going to be moving out. Another weak system comes in and mostly gets suppressed to the south on later Monday night to Tuesday, and then we should have nice weather Tuesday, Wednesday, and maybe even into Thursday as well with that high, and then that moves out. And then another system moves in, and the weekend still looks kind of dry. So it looks like we're in a drier pattern. Don't really see any big storms heading this way at all. And so let's take a look at the temperatures, see what the temperatures will be doing. As we get toward the second part of this video, I have to talk about some very serious heat going on in the Northwest Territories. Yes, the Northwest Territories. I want to talk about that too. So temperatures, as we go on tomorrow, you see the cooler air trying to make its way in, but you can see all the heat that's in the middle of the country here. And for next week, you can see some of that heat trying to make its way up, but then it gets knocked down Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. It starts to come back up again, and you can see it's starting to get a little warmer as we head toward the end of the month. And yeah, it could be quite warm next weekend on Saturday. Yeah, quite warm in the east. We'll definitely take a close look at that. So April is going to get off to a warm start. So we're going to actually go and get a little closer to our area and take a look at that. So again, tomorrow we'll probably be recovering a little bit. Tomorrow will be warmer than today. We'll probably be in the mid-50s on Long Island, and then temperatures start to drop a little more on Monday with that second front moving through. And then for Tuesday, temperatures go down below normal into the mid-40s, and same for maybe a little recovery on Wednesday. And then for Thursday, we start to get near 50. And you can see this warmer air trying to make inroads here. So now we're in the 50s on Friday. And then here's the weekend. Here's where things are going to really start warming up. Now, Long Island will probably get a sea breeze, so we won't get as hot as some of these other areas. But Jersey could probably most definitely hit 70 on a week from today, next Saturday. And the same we could see 70s even on Sunday, because things are going to really start getting hot toward the end of the month, unfortunately. And you can see the heat. There's going to be quite a bit of heat. Definitely you're going to need that air conditioner. I mean, it's ridiculous to have this kind of warmth coming, but like I said, we're in a climate emergency. So this is what we're seeing here, these extreme fluctuations in temperature. Of course, this is the long range of the model. Next thing, we'll look at the skies and see how the skies will do, and we'll get some clear skies now. Unfortunately, if we rewind this back, you'll see that we had clouds over us, but the clouds moved away. So you did have a nice afternoon, especially in New Jersey. Tomorrow the cirrus rolls in on us fairly quick, so I don't think we're going to see too much clear sky tomorrow. And for Monday, we have these clouds from the next system. And then finally, that system gets out of here, and we should have a nice clear day on Tuesday, and probably another clear day on Wednesday as well, and maybe even Thursday. So we might have 3 clear days in a row. And after that, even Friday might even be clear. So maybe even 4 clear days in a row possible. And then enjoy it, because then we're going to be stuck in this warm, chunky pattern for a very long time. So better enjoy that while we have it. That's for sure, because it's going to get warm and it's not going to be pleasant after. It's going to be getting hot. That's for sure. So now I guess we're talking about the heat. Let's talk about the heat, shall we? Let's go into Ventus Sky here. This is an image from the 19th of March. And I want to point this out because they were experiencing some really warm temperatures. These are the Northwest Territories here. All right, and here are some articles. It was 70 degrees in Alaska this week, and the road to the Northwest Territories diamond mine closed because it hit 70 degrees in the Northwest Territories, which is crazy. So I'm going to put links to some of these articles in here. 70 degrees in the Northwest Territories, and it's not even April yet. This is not normal at all. So that's why I'm showing you this, because you could see how far the warmth is extending all the way up. These areas where there's permafrost that's melting and thawing and releasing methane, which is creating methane is a much more potent greenhouse gas than carbon dioxide. And this is why it's an urgent thing. And some of my viewers posted, well, Alexandria, because, Green New Deal, some of it's unrealistic. Yeah, not 100% of it's realistic. But this is a climate emergency. This is the number one issue. This is more important than anything right now. It's more important than our economy. It's more important than immigration. This is the number one thing. Because you're not going to have an economy if climate change runs amok and destroys the world. All right? So you can see some really cold temperatures up here, but again, you see the waviness in the jet stream. So we're going to actually go and look at earthandallschool.net next, and we'll show you this and show you some of this heat that's been going on. So I'm going to actually first show you the air temperature we got to go back a couple of days, so we got to go back to the 19th. That's the wrong one. Let's use this one here. Let's go back to the 19th, because this is when the heat wave was really out of control there. We'll change this to temperature and show you some of the temperatures that they were experiencing. You can see the warmth here in here. So go look at how far the warmth is going. So this is in Celsius. That's 9.7 Celsius. These are Northwest Territories, but it was warmer than that. Unfortunately, this does not show highs, but we can actually look and see when it give it the time frame when it got warmest. It doesn't really show highs for the day. Actually, we're at 318, so I gotta move it up one. So very warm conditions. So just to do this, I'm gonna see. We should have a temperature anomaly. Doesn't give an anomaly here. It should give a temperature anomaly mode, but it doesn't. But anyway, this is how warm it was here. Very warm conditions, and it was 70 up there, even though it doesn't really show it on these models. Look at that, 13.2 Celsius. That's very warm. It should be below freezing in these areas. It should be below freezing. All right, it shouldn't even be above freezing in these areas. And here we are with springtime temperatures going all the way up almost into the Arctic Circle. Something is seriously wrong. So what's the pattern that's behind causing all this? Well, that's what we're going to look at next. We're going to look at we're going to go and look at the jet stream. So let's go ahead and look at that. Show you the problem here. And this is the jet stream, and this is the problem that we're having. So let me just close this up so you can see here what the problem is with the jet stream. Get this out of here. So here's the jet stream, and here's the problem. Look at how wavy and diffuse the jet stream is. You have this huge ridge that's going off right over here. So the jet stream is all out of whack, and it's transporting a lot of heat into the Arctic. And you can see just the waviness of the jet stream. And you have this just breakaway area of the jet stream here that's not even part of the main jet stream. This is not even supposed to happen. But yet it's happening, so it's transporting the heat up. And that's why we're seeing what we're seeing. And we can move this along and take a look at the different days and the different jet stream patterns that were involved in those days. And you can see here, again, here's another example. This is from the 21st, just how wavy the jet stream is. And this is not normal at all. This is not a normal jet stream. And this is all because of climate change, because we have more ice melting, less of a difference between the poles and the equator, which messes up the jet stream. And that's why we're in a climate emergency. And yeah, we need to stop burning fossil fuels by 2030. We need to be doing that. Yes, in 10 years, we can do it. I think that this is a challenge that we should accept. All right? So stop dissing AOC. Stop labeling her a socialist. Stop it with the crap already. All right? Because this is a climate emergency we are in. All right? It's not. You're not. It's so addressing climate change is not make one a socialist. All right? We're talking about the planet here. We're talking about the planet we live on, that we are destroying by this. All right. So we have this chaos going on in our atmosphere. Let me move this up to over here. And again, look at these crazy jet streams here. This is not normal. You know, are you going to still be saying climate change is overrated as your friends on the Babylon line are underwater? They probably will still be saying, "Oh, this isn't climate change." I can see them there. I could see the snobs in their Audis and Mercedes getting all flooded out, saying, "Oh, this isn't climate change," because they're just so stupid. All right, I'm sorry. I've had it with people who don't realize climate change is a serious issue. It is the #1 issue facing this country, facing this world right now, and we need to do something about it. Instead of arguing with each other, we need to do something about it because the world is dying. All right, so let's talk about the ice here. And Arctic sea ice reached its maximum extent for the year. So it reached its maximum extent for the year on March 13th, I believe. And while it wasn't a record low year for the Arctic sea ice maximum extent, the last 4 years have been the lowest in our record. So less ice in the Arctic means more heat being absorbed by at the poles. It means a warmer Arctic, and it causes a runaway feedback effect on the Arctic. And when the Arctic goes ice free and we have an blue ocean event, which we could be very close to getting, let's take a look at this analysis right now and see what we have going on in the Arctic with our sea ice. When this disappears, there's going to be an extreme amount of heat absorbed into the planet. It's going to heat things up very rapidly. And you can see there's lots of thin ice, lots of missing ice, all around lots of missing ice. And it's really a bad situation. It's really an emergency. It is a climate emergency. And we do need a Green New Deal. I support the Green New Deal. I don't care what you think. I care about this planet. That's why I do what I do on this YouTube channel. I care about this planet and the environment more than anything else. All right? And that is my mission, no matter what anyone says. So I guess we're going to wrap up this video. So that's my mission. All right? And we're going to have some real heat to kick off April. Maybe the kind of heat we haven't seen ever here. And like I said, looking at some of these anomalies, here we can go and look at temperature anomalies here and show you some of these anomalies, because it's going to be off the charts once we go into April. Look at this. So again, 12 degrees above normal. 12 degrees above normal. Look at these anomalies. So it's crazy. I'll zoom out the regions and I'll show you these anomalies here. Should be very, very alarmed. Very alarmed at this. So again, look at some of this heat. A lot more red on this map than blue. Alright? So I'm just fed up with people who don't realize how serious the climate issue is. We need to stop burning fossil fuels, and not only that, we need to start looking at ways into actively mitigating climate change. If we lose the ice in the Arctic, it's over. It's over for us. It's over for the human race, and it's over for a lot of species on this planet. Alright? So I'll say it, I'll say it again. I'm going to keep talking about this because this is the main issue facing this world and this country right now that we need to address. Because we won't have a world, we won't have a country, we won't have a city, we won't have a coast left if this rate goes. All right, you know, what can I tell you? We won't have a coast left. So we're looking at a different map of ocean temperature anomalies. You can see there's a lot of red on this map, a lot of dark red here, all over. Look at the ocean temperature anomalies in the Arctic. Let me just get this out of the way. Look at these ocean temperature anomalies in the Arctic. Look at these dark reds. You're talking amazingly high ocean temperature anomalies all across the world due to climate change. And so less ice in the Arctic means more ice melt in Greenland and on these continental areas. And that ice, when that melts, as well as the ice on top of the mountains, that makes your sea level go up. So what happens when 5 feet of sea level rise happens, folks? You're going to have parts of the city underwater. You're going to have your coastal areas underwater, a good part of Long Beach underwater. The water is going up to Merrick Road on the South Shore. This is what's going to happen, and this is just 5 feet of sea level rise. We're going to go way beyond that at this rate because it's going to open a Pandora's box once you reach that tipping point. So I try to explain this to some of my viewers. You have every right to your opinion, and I do respect that. But we are in a climate emergency. We need to get behind Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and her Green New Deal. All right? This is a climate emergency, and this is what's going to happen if we don't address this. Why must we continue to burn fossil fuels? Why do we have to drive huge SUVs? Why do we have to let our infrastructure in this country crumble? We should be building mass transit, a mass transit system like Europe. All those things that are brought up in the Green New Deal need to be done. Most of them need to be done. I know we can't expect all of them, but my gosh, we are in a climate emergency. Wake up, America. This is the #1 issue. #1 issue. Wake the hell up. I don't get it, because conservatives want to call themselves conservative, and yet they're not supporting the conservation of our planet. Conservation of our planet means we don't cut down the trees. We stop polluting the air. We stop changing the climate. We lessen our impact on the environment and live more in harmony with nature. That's what conservation should be about, and that's what being a conservative should be about. So that's the last thing I'm going to say in this video. Thank you for watching.